Green Room is a 2015 American horror thriller written and directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who has directed other cult movies such as Blue Ruin, Murder Party and Hold the Dark. Green Room's narrative follows a punk band straying into a secluded part of the Pacific Northwest that stumbles onto horrific acts of violence. Because they're the only witnesses, they become the targets of a terrifying gang of neo-Nazis who want to make sure all the evidence is eliminated. What can I say about Jeremy Saulnier's dark and twisted Green Room? It's a movie that has never truly existed until now. Maybe the general premise has, but the way Saulnier tackles it is unique in almost every way. However, it's this point of view of non-violent violence that I find the most interesting. He doesn't linger on the violence or the gore of the film, which is impressive, considering there's a lot of it. Instead, he focuses on the characters and the story. This careful perspective makes Green Room one of the most successful genre films in the last few years. One of the main reasons Saulnier's last film, Blue Ruin, which first brought him into the public eye, is so successful because of its main protagonist. He was an ordinary man in extraordinary circumstances. The Eight Nights, a fictional punk band touring in the Pacific Northwest, definitely fits the bill. The movie begins with them in a cornfield after the band singer Tiger, played by Callum Turner, falls asleep behind the wheel. They are out of gas. They find cars to siphon gas from. This small detail is interesting because it immediately pulls their innocence as people away, but Saulnier's screenplay redeems them as people by subtly detailing their commitment to each other as friends and as bandmates. The first 20 minutes or so is a phenomenal exercise in character building. Without any exposition, we learn the relationship between the bandmates and their personalities. Pat is the more reserved part of the group. Reese is impulsive and aggressive. Tiger is the kid of the group, while Sam is devoted to all of them. Character details aren't crammed down your throat. Instead, as the movie goes on, you pick up on those character details as they are needed. After the performance goes bad, they take a gig at a neo-Nazi punk bar. After spending some intimate moments with them during the beginning of the film, you realise that they are taking the gig out of necessity. Needless to say, things don't go quite as planned. After their set, during which they hilariously play Nazi Punk's Fuck Off, Pat stumbles on a crime committed by one of the guys in the club. They are locked in the Green Room and must figure out how to escape before the fearsome Nazi leader, Darcy, played by Patrick Stewart, arrives with reinforcements and gives us a spine-chilling performance. Unsurprisingly, it gets ugly very quickly, with blades, dogs and all, but not in the way that you would think. The premise is inherently a violent one. However, playing against genre tropes, Green Room doesn't focus on the violence or really show much of it. The same goes for the gore. While it is there and present, it doesn't dwell on it. In one intense scene, a character's arm gets injured. Most directors will be interested in that. Instead, Saulnier takes a look at what is happening around this one violent act. It's incredibly refreshing after a period of time where it seems that every movie must compete being the next Saw. That doesn't mean it doesn't have some of the stereotypical genre cliches of horror. At one point, a character even suggests that they split up. However, it's aware of its own horror movie logic. Another character immediately shuts down the idea of splitting up. These characters are not the brightest, but they do feel real. The decision making process is the same as yours or mine. You're not always going to make the smart decision under pressure. That's what makes Green Room so unique to me. It's a movie that is as grounded in reality as possible. As the movie progresses, sides are crossed, lives are lost, and the situation becomes dire. The small pieces of plot that play in, this movie is about the characters. Thanks to the actors, Anton Yelchin, who moves to the forefront among the band, it's a phenomenally grounded character. His body language and line delivery suggest his reluctance to be the leader and his desire for the situation just to be over. It's surprisingly layered on the surface. Patrick Stewart plays refreshingly against type, and while it's a good performance, I really wished he had more to do in the film. Green Room is a movie that deserves to be rewatched if you haven't seen it, and it is really hard to articulate how well made this movie is. I've watched it several times and still want to come back for more. There's just so much to dissect and so many details to discover every time I watch it. Have you seen Green Room? What are your thoughts? If you could, can you please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.